Bonjour, je m'appelle Sophie et je suis agente de liaison pour le régime d'immersion à l'Université d'Ottawa.
Bonjour, moi je m'appelle Megan, je suis une étudiante en troisième année sciences de la santé. Je suis aussi un mentor au centre de mentorat d'immersion.
So in the last video, we talked about why French immersion is a good idea for you. We have a lot of students on campus who want to continue their French and keep improving it. But in this video, Megan and I will be talking about the support that the French immersion stream offers both academically and financially. The support is there to help students start off on the right foot and to succeed throughout their 4 years of university.
So if you're anything like I was a couple of years ago, you probably have a bunch of questions. Is my French good enough? How hard is this going to be? Am I really up to the challenge? And we were in the exact same boat, so we know what you're going through. But there's so much available to help you. So to answer the question, is your French good enough? That's why we have the French immersion entry test in place. It's really there to make sure that this is the right adjustment for you and to make sure that you're going to succeed throughout your university career. We also did another video about the test, so you can see below there is the link and all the information about it is on there. Now I do want to say that studying in the French immersion stream is a little bit more of a challenge compared to in English, but with the right resources and constant effort, you really do get a benefit out of it for sure.
So Megan, you're a current French immersion student. You've been in it for a while now. How did you feel in first year? What were you going through?
Yeah, so to be honest, the first couple weeks leading up to university, I was a little anxious, a little worried, and even my first 2 weeks of university being in that French class, it was a little overwhelming for sure. The professor spoke a little fast in French. It was a different accent, but I really did get through it. But the whole university experience itself is a little overwhelming in itself too. I also took the language accompanying classes, the FLS accompanying classes, and they were so helpful. I met my best friends in that class and it was just very helpful. Also the FI crew, the mentors there were so welcoming, always so available. So if I had any other questions, I know that I could always go there, and there was never a line up there, so super helpful as well.
Megan, I'm glad that you mentioned the accompanying language course because that's kind of what makes the French immersion stream at uOttawa so unique. These accompanying language courses are really there to just help students ease into their university level French courses.
So the way that these accompanying language classes work is you would have, say for example, a psychology class that you're taking in French. You would have your psychology professor who's lecturing in French, as well as a whole bunch of Francophone students because it is a French class. Then you would also have your immersion students in there as well as a French professor. Now, after this class or before this class, if you choose to take the accompanying language class, you'd go to a separate classroom with the French professor. So this is the immersion students that would go. And it is a smaller class, so it's only about 30 of those immersion students. And you would go over the material from the psychology class, so more specifically, the language content. And I do also want to mention that taking this accompanying language class counts as one of your 2 classes to take in French per term for the French immersion bursary.
So there's a lot of benefits to taking this class, and they're offered for over 50 different courses in first and second year. So you can take an accompanying language courses for chemistry, biology, political science, history, health science. So a little bit all over there.
Exactly. And like I mentioned before, it's really there to help you with the language from that psychology class. So you do comprehension exercises in that accompanying class. Make sure you're really understanding the class itself. And we also want to mention that it's not a tutorial. It's a separate class on its own. It has its own exam. You get the own grade for it, and you get credits for it as well.
Another thing I want to add, and students love this one, is that uOttawa has a bilingualism policy that allows students to submit their work in French or in English, no matter the language of their course.
Exactly. I absolutely love this policy. When midterm season rolls around and you have a 10-page essay to write, you can submit it in English rather than doing it in French. We obviously suggest that you use your French whenever you can, but maybe use it on like a 1-page homework assignment compared to your big 10-page essay. You don't have to fill out any forms for this. You just write in whichever language you would like.
So some support is specific to certain faculties, like science and engineering has discussion groups for most of their introductory courses. There's also help centers for some basic disciplines like math, chem, or physics. There's a science and engineering mentoring center, and there's also study groups specific for French immersion students in the faculties of science and engineering. In the humanities, however, there isn't really that many like discussion groups in those classes. So in the faculties of arts, social science, health science, and business, we offer qualitative grades or pass-fail grades because these courses are a little bit more abstract and a little bit more wordy. So in order to get a pass-fail grade in your report card, you just have to fill up a form. And the deadline to do that is 3/4 into the semester, so you really know how you're doing in the class.
Absolutely. I've used the qualitative grades a couple times actually. It's not that I was getting a bad grade in the class necessarily, it's just that I had that really to my advantage to use it. Also, it's really a relief to know that you don't have to worry about a specific class in French too sometimes.
Absolutely. And I just want to repeat that this is not offered in the faculties of science and engineering because of the empirical nature of those programs. Like the students in science say, it's not the French that's hard, it's the science that's hard. uOttawa has resources for all of its students, but for French immersion students specifically, we know that it's a little bit harder for you, so we do have even more resources available. For example, the Academic Writing Help Center, that's there to help students plan and write out their essays at the university level. There's also conversation workshops, and that's where French immersion students can just go and just speak freely. So that's good if you maybe haven't practiced your French as much as you thought you would in the summer. But I would say the best resource for French immersion students is other French immersion students. And I bet Megan can back me up on that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's super important to make other FI friends, especially when you're in your big French class, to share notes with each other, do group projects together, and just really have someone that you can rely on if you miss a class. And I also really want to mention the role of us mentors. We're there right from the very beginning when you guys apply to the university, to course selection, to navigating the resources on campus, and just really there for whatever you need. We have students that come into our mentoring center that just want to practice their oral French presentations, and we love it. So like I mentioned, we're really there for whatever you guys need.
The French immersion stream also supports you financially by offering you a French studies bursary. So simply by taking 2 courses per semester in French, boom, you get $1,000 a year to go shopping for textbooks. So adding this to your admission scholarship, you can get automatically up to $14,000. Another thing that I want to add is a new scholarship just came out. It's worth $3,000 and it's available for French immersion students. So I'll add the link in the description below. For other information on scholarships and bursaries, please check out the video on financial aid, which will also be in the description below. All that said, truth is some students start off in French immersion and they don't stick with it. And that's okay, it's not a fit for everyone. But what's important to know is which path will lead you to success. But if you're on the fence about it, you don't really know if you want to go into FI, I recommend just try it out. You're gonna get $1,000. And also, our students have shown us that if you put in a little bit of extra effort and use the resources that we have available for you, you can succeed and be really proud of yourself.
Definitely. I do know some people who have dropped FI, whether it was because their program was a little bit too strict or they went on international exchange in a different language, but they're still really proud of what they did in French. And some of them still even take French classes. And so that kind of means that their bilingual journey really hasn't ended there.
So there you have it. That was a bit of an overview on the support offered by the French Immersion stream. Don't hesitate to look out for our other 2 videos about the admission process for French Immersion and just about the French Immersion stream itself. The links will be in the description below.
And if you have any other follow-up questions, feel free to send us an email, and make sure to follow uOttawa Future on all social media. They answer a lot of great questions, so they're there to help you as well. That's all for now. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.